Well, hello, everyone. We are here. This is Conversations with Linda.
Yes, we had some technical difficulties, so please excuse us our tardiness. We wanted to make sure that we were able to get our chat that I did
absolutely
with my friend Charles Martin. And so it took us a minute to make sure that we could get that through. Y'all know we're in this digital age. And while it has all of these benefits, it comes with a few burdens
absolutely
too.
Absolutely.
And so we wanted to make sure that we had that tonight. But again, welcome to Conversations with Linda. And I'm Linda. And here's my co-host, Cortney Richardson, in the co-pilot seat. All right, how y'all doing? Hope everything is going well and you're getting things, moving in this Christmas season.
Christmas is this week.
And I still have to buy gifts. There's nothing under that tree. As beautiful as that tree is, there is nothing underneath it.
I have not bought a thing. The candles that I bought at Bath and Body Works.
Okay.
Is that what it's called, Bath and Body Works?
Yeah, Bath and Body Works.
Those gonna be some gifts.
And that's what you're gonna get too.
No. No.
I really did buy 2 candles with you in mind.
Oh, thank you. What kind?
The mahogany teak or something. Yeah, that's in your gift bag.
Which one was the other one? 2 mahogany?
No, I bought 2 of them.
Okay, good.
Because you need 2 of the same to really make it. Okay, we're all off track. But again, we wanted to come to you just to do a check-in. You all, while we're in the holiday season, because we're getting ready to kind of go on a little hiatus.
Yeah, we are.
So we wanted to just have a little, have a talk with you.
Just check, because we got some things to talk about.
We really, really do.
We want to help some people.
And so
tonight.
y'all got to tell me who's on tonight, who's with us. Make sure y'all push this from my personal page too. Okay, Shauna said she just did that as well. Make sure you share and like, and make sure y'all hit these likes and love buttons and all of that kind of stuff.
And send us some stars. And stuff.
Send us all of that. We need that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Send us some stars. Well, you look nice in your red.
Thank you. I've been
red.
trying to represent. Last week I had on green, I believe. And so I've been trying to represent in these live shows.
That's great. With your frames that match.
With my frames that match. Amen.
Yeah,
amen. So listen, before we go into our conversation that I had with Charles Martin, see our new cups.
Oh.
Listen, come on, listen, look at this. We're going to have these at our live show. Isn't that nice? Because y'all know I love to sip while I have a conversation with you. And so you'll be able to purchase these at the live show.
Conversations with Linda mugs.
Right. I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking. Which way? Where am I supposed to be looking?
Right.
Okay, they say I'm doing good. So, speaking of which, we are having a live show January 15th. That's on a Saturday.
New page, next chapter.
New page, next chapter. I had a moment where it just left.
New page, next chapter.
So you're either writing on your new page or a new chapter.
That's right.
All right. Sometimes you're in the same chapter that things haven't necessarily changed over into a whole new chapter, but you can write a new page.
So, and we haven't talked about this. This is on the front.
Okay.
It's not a new book though, because life is one big book.
Life is one big book.
Right. So sometimes we have the desire to go to another book, but it's not like that.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to talk about all of this that day. So you do not want to miss the live show. I'm telling you, because I want you to know that the book is still being written.
Yeah.
So there's possibilities and all kinds of opportunities. Don't you dare close that book. Don't end that book. Just write a new chapter.
That's right. And you need some stuff in your book that makes it a good book.
Yes.
All good books have some lows.
An antagonist, all of that. And so
absolutely.
we're going to talk about all of that in the live show. So make sure that you get your tickets. We in our pre-chat, we had Michelle Craig on. She's one of our guests.
And she's right there on your screen now. You see Michelle Craig, who's going to talk to us about
getting your coins together.
And in the pre-chat, she said, if you get your coins together, you get the rest of your life
together. Life together. I agree.
And you're in mental health. You're a mental health professional.
Right.
And you have invited Charles Winton
Yes.
to be with us as well.
And I'm excited about talking to him.
He's one of only a few
Uh-huh.
African American
male
mental health therapists.
Yes, and he's doing a phenomenal job in the city, and so I want to have an opportunity to talk to him because we got to get us together.
That's right.
Right? Spirit, soul, and body. Right? So we're going to do that, and that's why we got Terrell Munger coming on. He's one of our local pastors, but I love it because he can talk about relationships.
Yes.
I mean, he's just got a great body of work, and I like him because he just keeps it real.
He keeps it real.
He just puts it out there.
And he's just a great guy.
Is.
A great guy.
And so I'm telling you, you don't want to miss our live show. Y'all don't wait till the last minute to get your tickets. We want to make sure that we're prepared for the number of people that we're having. And we've got limited seating.
There is limited seating. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only a few VIP tickets left. So go ahead and get those 7 VIP tickets left and general admission. We have a few more of those as well. So make sure you go on and purchase those general admission tickets. The links are there in the comment section, there in the chat section. You can purchase those. But it's a conversation like the rest of the conversations that we have, but in a live format. And today we have another conversation.
We do. We have another conversation. And our conversation tonight is on what do the lonely do at Christmas. And we know that song that's played. I think it's by who? The Emotions. Is there somebody else brought it back out? Did Invoke or somebody bring
Alexa.
it back out? Y'all find out for me who else remade that song.
Who made? Y'all tell us who made.
I know the Emotions did, but somebody else brought it back out. And so we want to talk about what do the lonely do at Christmas. And what we're going to do is share with you a snippet or two of a conversation I had with a dear friend of ours, Charles Martin, Dr. Charles Martin, when I went to Dallas. I had so many conversations when I went to Dallas. All right?
And we thought it was a vacation.
Right.
You had more conversations there.
Absolutely. That's my hometown, so I know a lot of people. But Charles lost his wife a couple of years ago. Now, don't you all tune out if you haven't lost a spouse or a loved one, because that's not the only lonely that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, what are some lonelies? As this clip is getting ready to play, won't you put in the comment section some lonely? What are some realities that makes one lonely?
Yeah, it's not just about losing a spouse or losing a loved one, but I do want to play this clip here, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So on today's episode of Conversations with Linda, I have a longtime friend of myself and my husband, Kevin, Dr. Charles Martin. Welcome to Conversations with Linda.
Thank you. Glad to be here with you.
And I should say doctor, pastor, you wear many titles.
Right.
But Dr. Martin is pastor of Union Baptist Church here in Dallas, Texas, where I've been just kind of hanging out for a few days, just getting some R&R time. But I thought I would catch up with you to see how things are going. I believe it was last year before COVID, I had you on the show.
Right.
And we shared about the loss of his wife, my friend, Dr. Earlene Martin. And I wanted to just come back and see how you were doing. And, just let's chat.
Let's chat a little bit.
Yeah. So how has it been going? How's it going for you? You and Earlene have been married how many years?
35 years.
35 years. So this year, Kevin and I celebrate our 35 years. So, wow.
Yeah.
A lifetime.
A lifetime.
A lifetime.
Yep.
How has it been? It's been now, 2 years?
It's been 2.5 years.
2.5 years. How has it been?
It's been a different journey. I had transitioned through all of that, and in the process, worked on doing some writing and stuff like that. But the difference has been, here at home, getting used to being here by myself. And I shared with my church and my children that I never knew silence could be so loud.
Wow.
And it was loud because all I could hear was quiet.
Yeah.
And
there's nobody stirring around.
Nobody stirring around. You know, you could be in the house together, just be in different parts
Absolutely.
and stuff like that. But there's nobody stirring around. There's nobody coming out of the room. There's no toilet gonna be flushed or anything like that. It's
all
just
those little
things, yeah,
that become magnified.
Exactly. And then it was always my turn to do the dishes. And so there was nobody here to
take turns.
And
if the dishes were dirty, you couldn't blame it on anybody.
I couldn't blame it on anybody. And
I remember my mother telling me that when my stepfather passed away. She was like, she would walk back into a room and say, who messed up this room? And it was her, because nobody else was in the house.
Exactly.
That was really funny to me.
Exactly. I mean, nobody's folding up the sheets or doing anything. And these bathrooms don't clean themselves.
Wow.
And so it was a big adjustment in just daily projects and stuff like that. I had to, for a few months, learn how to get out of caregiver mode.
Wow.
Because during the days that she was sick and her health was kind of going down with the heart issue, I wouldn't sleep in the bed. I'd sleep in a recliner in the room because I wanted to be able to hear her if she coughed, if she got up, or anything like that. And so there were many times after that I just had a hard time getting sound sleep because I was still listening. And there were times that I dreamed that I heard her saying, "I can't breathe," you know, and so I'd get up and wake up. And so it took me a while to begin to come out of caregiver mode and begin to relax. And then when that started happening, I was still going to bed late and averaging maybe about 5 hours of sleep or something like that. And so over time, it gradually began to change and so on.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned not having a difficult time coming out of caregiver mode. I'm coming up on next month a year since I had, you know, my brain surgery.
Yes, yes.
And Kevin and I just like 3 days ago had this conversation about the very same thing.
Wow.
He's struggling coming out of caregiver mode.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't realize how hypervigilant he had become and still is.
Yes.
Because once I had surgery, I had a 3-month recovery, and I had to keep my head at a 30-degree angle at all times. And he,
like a hawk,
was absolutely. Yeah. So hearing you say that really resonates with me now that I've had that conversation with him.
And even now, when my grandkids come over and we have our sleepover, they like to sleep with me. I'm in caregiver mode. I'm listening. I'm trying to hear them move or make sure they're okay. So it still bounces back every now and then. But yeah, it took a while, and that's a perfect example of you get into that mode and you don't realize just how much the two have become one. Yeah. And you're so in tune to the movements, to the little things, to the nuances, and all those kind of things. When any other time, I'd just be knocked out.
Right.
But in times like that, you're sensitized to it. And so during that process, I started writing a book, and I'm still in that process, and that's another story because my hard drive crashed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
But so, it's in you.
It's there. And the title of the book is The Journey to Day 2.
Yes. Please tell our viewing audience. I thought you had such a profound revelation about this day 1, day 2. Please explain that.
Well, the journey to day 2 is about the fact that once my wife passed away, every day after that was basically like the same day.
It was day 1.
It was day 1. Every day was day 1. It was the first day that I was without her.
Okay.
It was the first Tuesday I was without her. It was the first Saturday I was without her.
Okay. It was the first October, November. Exactly. Everything was
a first.
First birthday. First anniversary.
Christmas. All
Thanksgiving. Okay. So y'all get it. Y'all get it. He was experiencing all of those first, and he calls it Day one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So all of that was day one. And so looking at it that way, when a year passed,
Okay, an entire year
passed, the next day in that year since her death was really the second day.
Mm.
And so everything, because now it was no longer the first.
It was the second Mother's Day. The second anniversary, second birthday.
Exactly. Everything now begins to build. So now I'm stepping into day two.
How does that speak to grief recovery? How does looking at it from that perspective help you through the grief process?
Well, I think it helped me in that what I learned was grief is a journey that we don't sign up for when it comes.
Okay.
We know it's coming, but we didn't buy a ticket.
Mm.
We didn't make, plans to go at this particular time or anything like that. But it thrust us into a journey that we're not ready to take.
Okay. Even when we know they're sick.
Even when we know they're sick.
Okay.
No matter how long they've been sick, we just get thrust into this journey all of a sudden.
Because you don't really know until it happens. What that's going to feel like.
Exactly.
Because each death feels differently. Okay.
And that was what I said in the book, that my mom passed, my dad passed, but it was different with my spouse.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just, there's that one, you really begin to understand what oneness was about when now the two that became one
is now
what? One.
The two that became one is now one.
Yeah. And the way I explained it in the book is that, okay, you take two and you look at it like this, you see two. Mm-hmm. But when two become one, it's like an equal sign, a parallel sign that you're looking at from over above.
Okay.
It's two lines.
But they're merged.
And they look like one.
Okay.
So what happens is when one of them is gone, it looks like it's still one. So,
which is why people say, I've heard other people that have lost their spouse, I feel like I lost a part of me.
Exactly.
Not just the other person, a part of me.
Right. And the point that I try to make is that they didn't lose a part of themselves. Because when the two became one, if one leaves, the person's gone, but what you got is still there.
The original you.
The original you and what I got from you.
Okay.
So I'm still one because of what I received from you.
Okay.
So you and Kevin, Earlene and I, there are things that I do now that's just like her.
Wow.
Because I was one with her, and that part of her still lives in me.
Okay.
I learned that in my journey to day two.
In your journey to day two. Okay.
I learned that even though I miss her, there are times that I'm thinking just like she thought. I'm doing stuff just the way she did it.
So when you have those moments, and I don't know if you all can hear the rain outside. It is pouring down rain. And I plan to go to the State Fair of Texas. Look, if you've never been to the State Fair of Texas, make sure you don't go to heaven till you do. But I plan to go. But I hope the rain lets up. I'm about to go before the Father and ask him to hold this rain before I get out of Dallas. But in that, so when you find yourself doing things that she would do, saying things that she would say, it doesn't grieve you. No. It makes you feel what?
It's humorous. I laugh about it.
Okay.
And
but were you able to do that in day one?
No,
in year one?
It was the latter part of day one as I began to move into day two that I began to laugh about it, because there were times during day one that when I thought about those things, it would create a kind of somber feeling.
Yeah.
And I sit down and I reflect on and think about, and then I get up and press on.
Yeah.
But the closer I got to day two, then sometimes it was just humorous.
Yeah. I asked that because I'm there now with my mom's death. Mm-hmm. My mom and I were very, very close. And initially it was hard when I could hear her voice in my head or hear myself say something that she would say. Right. But now I do get tickled.
Yeah.
I really do, like, oh, I'm turning into mama.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Wow. Wow. That was a lot. But I'm glad that I could have that conversation with my friend Charles Martin, and that he is making his way.
Yeah.
So we asked you, Cortney asked you before we went to that clip about the loneliness. And I think that's so important because he talked about his grief losing his wife. But the reality is, people can be lonely for many different reasons. Many different losses.
Absolutely.
And some of them began to name some in the feed and talked about divorce, right? And distance in your family.
Distance in the family. Empty nesters.
Empty nesters,
Empty nesters was one.
These are not things that we think about when we hear that song, What Do the Lonely Do?
At Christmas.
But during this holiday season, when everybody is going to family outings and get-togethers and all that, there are a lot of lonely people.
That's right. At the house.
At the house.
At the house. Having to order out.
Yes.
While people are posting pictures of their families.
Right.
It's a regular day.
A regular day. That's good. And what he said that was so profound, he said, I never knew silence could be so loud.
Yeah.
If y'all are feeling this, give me some hearts, give me something. Let us know that you understand and can embrace what we're saying. I never knew silence could be so loud.
And you referenced that your mom told you that when your stepfather passed away.
Oh yeah, she had to adjust because it was my stepfather passing, but it was also all the kids were gone.
Yeah.
And so living in the house, as someone said in the feed about being an empty nester, you're in the house and now it's quiet.
Right.
And we don't realize how much we feel just in the noise. In the noise of somebody opening and closing a cabinet or somebody, a TV in another room.
Right.
We don't realize that makes us feel like we're surrounded by people.
Now, in this phase of your life, where you've become an empty nester.
Yeah, I'm really loving my empty nester.
Yeah, because let me tell you that when the children moved out, I don't think anybody saw the house for 3 months because she and Bishop were just
we were
elated about.
We were enjoying our empty nester.
If you open a drawer, it was just too much noise. It's just like.
We were. But there are times that it gets quiet around here. It really, but now see, I'm a person that's charged by quiet. Because I keep telling y'all, I'm really an introvert that has learned how to be an extrovert.
And do you know that 2 weeks ago or so, I read an article about introverts, all that kind of stuff, and quietness and the importance of it for high productive people.
Yeah.
And I am getting ready to start building in quiet time. Into my schedule.
Because you are a true extrovert.
But so there said when the children grow up and make their own plans that don't include.
Who said that?
Yeah, Q.
When the children grow up and make their own plans
and don't include you.
And I remember Q when I was even still in Dallas. All of us were grown, of course, and we did make our own plans because Bishop had his side of the family. And so some of those holidays I was going to be with his family. And my sister was going to be with her husband's family. And God knows my brothers were wherever they were.
Shout out to Uncle Randy for all the different options you have, bro.
But I can imagine, that we all go through that. And as from where my therapist had as a counselor, that's a part of the life stages that you go through. That there is a new stage that comes along where, and you're going to see Charles Martin talk about this in our next clip, where you have to make a life for yourself. Because your children, they have their own lives to live.
That's right.
But there again, you still feel that loneliness. And can we just mention those who have divorced? Because he talked about, it's a real thing. And he talked about, being at the house and figuring all of this out as well. So any new divorced people in our audience tonight? What are you doing?
We introverts love quietness, Tabby says.
Yeah, I'm a quiet. I love.
Tabby
I can Bishop can go to the church and I can be at home all day and never turn on the radio, never turn on the television, and the house is just quiet. I do my best work.
And you know what I need to start saying to you?
What's that?
Go home.
Okay.
In the quiet.
Okay.
I think we need to start saying, you need some quiet time.
Yeah, because
there are times
it
when
recharges me, charges my battery.
As I think about that, I can remember times when your mood changed after being at home all day, just quiet, cleaning and washing. Because you said, "Oh, I needed this day."
Yeah,
I needed this day.
I recharge. It's like sticking in the plug, the charger, and putting me in it, and my battery gets charged again. He talked about that the day 2.
Yeah, right? The journey to day 2.
And so I don't know if you all understood what he was saying, but he was saying when you first lose someone, you go through all those first.
That first year, it's your first Christmas, your first Thanksgiving.
So your first Christmas without mom or dad or husband or just a significant other person that you're used to doing things with.
It's your first of triggers. It's your first of, and I've said to you before, in the spring, when grandmother passed away, we would in the springtime, we would go and look at azalea bushes. We would look at the dogwood.
Whatever traditions you had.
So it was the first time riding through some of those streets.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't want to not include those people who maybe have not been married, but they did have a significant other person. I don't want to make this just about relatives because we can lose a friend.
That's right.
You know, friends fall out.
Yeah.
All right. I really want to expand this. If you've ever had a dear friend, a close friend, and you all are not close like you used to be, and you don't have anybody to do anything with because they were your person.
And let me tell you this, when your friends get married.
Oh, okay.
When your friends get married, I can speak to that. Friends are like family. Yeah. My friends are getting married now. Yeah. It's not just their families that they're having to navigate, right? It's their families and their spouse's family. Right. And now you gotta move too. And I was sharing with 2 of my friends today, oh no, I'm moving. I moved to the next seat. Wow. You know, and that becomes a thing that you just have to embrace. And
what do the lonely do at Christmas? And when you're not, what about when there's distance in the family?
Yes.
And you all are not talking or getting along, right? And now you got to figure out, okay, what do we do now? How do we navigate this season? Yeah. And we're not close. Yeah. And do I invite them over? Am I going to be invited over? All of those things.
Right. And do I make plans or do I sit and wait on this person to maybe come over?
I got another one. Y'all probably hadn't even thought about this one, but I can speak to this one because I moved to Memphis. Now it's been 30 years ago, 30 years ago. But I'm telling you, probably the first 10 years, I'm serious, were really hard for me because I didn't have a lot of family here. I just had Bishop and my kids and Bishop's mom. So, and Quincy came on, but all of our family, I'm talking about cousins and aunties and uncles and mamas and dad, everybody was in Dallas. And so unless they could come here or we could go there, we spent holidays with just us. And it's really going to be like that this Christmas. That they all came during like August, September. And so no one's coming for Christmas.
And you know.
But let me say this. I don't know that people think about the transplants. The people who have moved to Memphis, they don't have family. And we're planning our dinners and stuff. I would be so glad if somebody said, well, y'all come on over. Because I mean, what else was I gonna do? Right. So y'all think about the new people that have moved to
And the interesting thing is that you've been here now for 20.
No, it's been about 29 years.
29 years. And that still is prevailing.
It still is.
And it looks different in different seasons.
It does.
Because for Bishop, his grandmother was here.
His grandmother was here.
And this will be his, second or third holiday season without even. And he takes much delight in. and having a home for him to invite them over. Nanny didn't stay on here that this is different for her.
Yeah.
Because and she's the only child.
Only child. That's it.
She's the only child.
And so all of these different scenarios
You see the
are ways we.
What did she say?
She stated
that we are alone. We find ourselves in a lonely place. She stated what Shauna's telling us what Atanja said.
And the pandemic just intensifies the dynamics.
Oh, yes, Atanja, the pandemic intensifies it because we can't travel like we want to travel. You know, loved ones can't come or we can't go like we really want to. Yeah. We're all thinking about it. And now it seems like this new variant is on the rise.
And it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
You know, now with the pandemic, I think we were together on this. I had to make a decision.
You were really in a bad place.
At the first 3 weeks of the pandemic,
you struggled
because everybody was thinking that it was temporary, and early on, I knew it was not. The reason why I had such difficulty is because I realized early on. I said, "Wait a minute, for the country to be shut down, anything we know for the country to be shut down, this is going to be long term." And people were saying, "Oh no, this is going to be over." So I felt what I felt alone in is in real. I had processed. Oh, this is going to be a long time.
But I also remember you struggling because being single, everybody was going to their houses because initially he said, "Well, I just may need to move upstairs."
Absolutely.
You know, because I can imagine for just being single, just being at home, everything on shutdown, you know, that's difficult.
Yeah.
And again, these are all different scenarios that we're not always thinking about. We only think about death.
Yeah.
And that certainly is one, a significant one, but there are many, many ones. And as Charles Martin said, silence can be so loud.
And so I think the next clip we're going to show is what his children say to him.
Absolutely.
And it seems insensitive to say when we're talking about grief and talking about, but essentially they told him to get a life.
Okay, we want to go to that, that little snippet and show you that, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Conversations with Linda. I am here with a longtime friend, Dr. Charles Martin, Pastor Charles Martin, here in Dallas, Texas, and we're having just a delightful conversation from a painful experience, but on the passing of his wife, Dr. Earlene Martin. She was a great, great friend of mine, and I'm just checking in. I'm hanging out here in Dallas, and I wanted to check on my friend, see how he's doing.
It's been day to day, and then my daughters have been, good, and my son have been instrumental because they notice when I get engrossed in ministry, working, writing, and all of that kind of stuff. And both my daughters told me recently that I needed to get a life.
Get a life. So are you going to get a life?
I'm trying.
Okay, because I love matchmaking. All right, I do, and I've been trying to figure. I was thinking about when I was on my way over here. I was like, now who in Memphis could I introduce him to? But then either you would have to come to Memphis, or she would have to come here. And I was thinking, now what can I do? Kevin is gonna get me when he sees this. When he sees this show, he is gonna get me because he's like, girl, stop trying to matchmake. But okay, all right. But you got to get a life though, whatever that looks like for you.
Right, and so
And you're taking a vacation.
I've taken some vacations and just went away. But then when I did it, I went to write.
I know, and then you were talking about you were like barbecuing for everybody. He went to some resort. Who does that? He went to this resort and was cooking for everybody around people he didn't even know. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's right. You called me while I was cooking.
What are you doing? You had just been married so long.
Yes.
You're so used to
preparing and doing for somebody.
Yeah, that is so funny.
Yeah. So I told I haven't gone to hardly any movies because I watch them here at home. So they said, well,
you
go
don't
to the
meet anybody if you don't get out.
I know it. my life became just here.
I know, but
And,
let me
you know, you
put me
just-
on it. Put
you
me
just-
on it. Let me do it. I got
Be
it.
the fairy godmother.
Put me on it. Just commission me to. Okay, you know, I'm just joking. I'm just
Yeah, I
joking.
know.
But
yeah, that's what it's gone. And I found myself, I could go in my office and work all day.
yeah. But you got to come out.
Yeah,
You gotta
and so that's what I'm starting to do,
Okay.
and a little bit more, and just trying to see where I'm going to start, because it's hard to just decide to go on a cruise by yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and you know, you go to restaurants, they don't have tables for one,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Go sit at the bar. Okay, I'm done. I am done. I'm done. I am done. I am so. That's okay. Strike that from the minutes. Strike that from the minutes. Let's talk about something else. So,
But now I do enjoy having somebody to go to dinner with.
yeah.
I just don't want to go to dinner with somebody and they think that going to dinner is a proposal.
Oh, say it so the people in the back can hear. All right. No. And don't let her be half your age either. Okay, I am done. For real, I'm done this time. I'm done this time. Let's talk about something else.
Kevin, forgive her.
This is Conversations with Linda, not Pastor Linda, not
Okay.
Rev
Yeah,
Linda.
that's
This
right.
is just,
Okay.
y'all know me. Y'all know me.
Now you know.
Wow. Listen, that's my brother. I want him to be happy. He's got to live the rest of his life. And like his children said, he's got to get a life.
I got a medal. I'm getting ready to medal.
Okay, what you gonna say?
I got a question.
What?
Everybody went crazy over Uncle Randy.
Oh.
How do y'all feel in the comments about this good, godly man who was married
Oh, they
all
want the
these
rah-rah.
years?
They want that.
He got some rah-rah in him somewhere. Why is it such a struggle to hook somebody up with him? He trying to go to dinner. He trying to do all
like
this.
me matchmaking, but I love to matchmake.
This you ain't got to make this match. Y'all make your own match. Y'all want us to bring him for the live show?
Listen, so he said his children told him he's got to get a life.
Yes.
And I think that is for all of us.
Mhm.
Whenever we find ourselves in the lonely place,
Mm-hmm.
the lonely place says, get a life.
Get a life. Get a life.
Whatever that looks like, get one.
Yeah.
Because it's not for other people to give you a life.
That's right.
It's
That's
for
right.
you to make a life where you are presently. You
Mhm.
know, and so how are you all doing with that?
Yeah.
Is that hard to do? Get a life?
Yeah. And I kind of enjoy being able to have a life.
Okay.
So
So now that
Valentine's Day, for instance.
Okay.
I have friends who've been newly married, and I have friends who've been married a long time, right?
Okay.
And I got other friends who are single as well. Particularly a whole lot of ladies that's single. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have no rah-rah, so I don't fit. So we still can go out to eat, and I can show them a good time, all that kind of stuff. But this Valentine's Day was wonderful. I went out to eat after church with two of my friends who were just getting together. After that, I went over to some of my friends' house who had just bought a new house with their whole family. And I spent my Valentine's Day like that. And it was really fulfilling.
Okay.
I'm not jealous of anybody's relationships that are already in advance. So it's really, it has been good. Even on holidays, right? Aunts' houses and you have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional.
You have to be intentional.
And one of the things that you may not do is wait for an invitation. Ask them, what are you all doing? And say, hey, y'all mind if I come over? Sometimes we're waiting for somebody to invite us versus saying, hey, what are y'all doing? I may drop by. Y'all okay with that?
You know what else helps though?
What's that?
Having people already in my community
Yeah.
who are mindful of that.
Okay.
So having my
gotcha.
mom, my sisters,
But what do you do when you're a new transplant? Because Marsha Weeks said all her family's back in New Jersey, and Nanny is on here. She talked about moving here from LA. So when you're a transplant, people aren't thinking about you.
I have a friend who just moved.
Okay.
I mean, just 3 weeks.
Okay.
Not even 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And I said to him, I said, you're in Dallas. you're going for a job. And so
Okay.
what you're thinking is that you're going to bury yourself in work.
Mm-hmm.
I said, now what I know about you is that you love connection, you love friends. Don't bury yourself in work so much that you aren't intentional about building relationships.
Right.
Go places and build relationships.
And say something.
And say,
invite
absolutely.
yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, at least just say, hey, what are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to wait, because people just don't always know. They assume that you are already doing something.
So I think there are some things that just help with that. So, you know, most of our audience are church people. Going somewhere, whether it's out of town or whatever, and being a part of communities of people helps to shield you.
But you heard me say I'm an introvert that has learned to be an extrovert. And I think for us introverts, because I think there's a lot of us on tonight, we have to learn to be extroverts. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about boisterous and overbearing, but talking, just you know, not smile, yes, because I think that's the beginning, is a friendly smile. But then going that next step to say, hey, how you doing? I'm Linda Willis. What's your name? Taking that extra step, I think that helps you to find your Boaz or your Benita or Brenda as well. But that's for another conversation. Well, somebody asked me, did we have any dating tips for introverts? We're gonna have to deal with that.
That's a good show.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good episode. We're gonna have to deal with that. But I just think that showing yourself friendly will then produce friends, right? And then you saying to them, hey, I don't have anything to do this. And that's really how I began to make friends, was to say, you know what, I remember going across the street to my neighbor and just saying, hey, I'm Linda across the street. How you doing? I don't know anybody around here. Just want to know. Now, I hadn't done that in this neighborhood because now it's like, I come in. He knows everybody. I don't know anybody. He said I didn't even wave at the neighbor today when we were coming in. He waved and I didn't. I was looking at my phone doing something. But I mean, when I first came to Memphis, I think, as you say, church can be a good place. Now, here's where I want to caution you all, because when we meet people in church, we go in too fast and too strong, and we make them our best friends. I'm just talking about casual acquaintances. I'm not talking about, you know, telling everybody your business and all that, because you don't know people.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with going to a movie? What's wrong with just saying, hey, you know, I'm gonna have people over to my house?
Yeah.
Because can I say this? You don't want to be that person that's always wanting to be invited. Now, let me tell you, that gets on my nerves.
Okay.
That people don't invite me.
But
they
want
me
to be invited.
Yeah, invite me to your house sometime and say, hey, I'm going to do some popcorn and do the movie or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sitting here thinking to myself,
He did do game night.
And I have done more than any other kids.
Yes.
Drive out to my house.
We would drive out to your house, Shonda. Because listen, everybody comes to my house and they don't say, well, I got it tonight. I got Friday night.
More than any of the other kids.
Yes, you're right.
We just got to pack a bag to go to Shonda's
You know
house.
what? And they got really surprised during COVID because I got tired of being the spot. And I'm waiting. Nobody. Y'all didn't. Okay, that's for another episode. I got a little something right there.
I see.
I'm gonna get rid of it before 2022.
You know, you should have wrote that in that fire service we had.
I need another piece of
Can we get another piece of paper? Were you at that service?
We said I need some more male friends, and it seems as if males just don't connect like they should. You know. Around, you know, women, we kind of do a little bit more. We'll do the girls' night out and all that. So maybe we got to even do a show about that. How do the men connect? You know,
they connect over sports. They connect over those kinds of things. And I have what I call my nigga friends.
You can't say that.
Yeah, and you know, you know.
But
it's different.
I do think
I'm sorry.
you have to extend yourself and say, hey, you know, we're gonna barbecue, come over, you know, and get to know people that way, and not just wait for people to ask you. All right.
And that's coffee. Let's go to lunch. Let's go to.
Absolutely.
I think being intentional about those
being
things.
intentional.
Yeah.
That's our word.
Intentionality helps a lot with that.
And so then he talked about this. Charles talked about going out to dinner, that they don't make a table for one. I thought that was interesting.
They don't.
But sitting at the bar, what's wrong with that? Do we feel some kind of way as Christians that we shouldn't sit at the bar?
I think we're in a different day. But when I was younger, definitely you did not go anywhere and sit at a bar as the people of God.
Okay.
Not as the people of God. But now you can go and even have drinks and public people ain't gonna.
Not you saying you can have.
I said you. I'm saying you can go and have drinks now. People ain't gonna have nothing to say.
I think the bar area is the place when if you don't have, you know, if you're feeling uncomfortable. I don't feel uncomfortable sitting at a table and it's another seat empty. I really don't. I'll take my iPad and have my earphones or whatever. I do that.
I'll go and people watch.
Yeah,
I will go and
people watch.
I will go and people watch.
That's interesting.
I will go.
I
and
don't
people
do that,
watch.
but I'll definitely take my iPad because I'm a reader. I'm an avid reader, so that's my time to read. If Bishop and I are not together, I go by myself and I sit there and read and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Put my feet up in the other seat.
There you go. That's what that's for. That's exactly what.
But I do think that there is a place when you are by yourself to go sit at the bar. Actually, the other night, Bishop and I left an event, and then we went to a restaurant, and there was no seating available, and we asked them, was the bar available?
Right.
And we went to the bar and sat there and ate. Now, what the interesting thing was, there was a young lady sitting there, and Bishop, could you turn that water off, please, sir, on my live show? Thank you. That's why I have to have my own studio. And there was a young lady sitting there, and I thought she was waiting for someone, but she sat there and she ate and all that. And so I didn't bother because, you know, he came in and I was talking to her. But eventually she said, excuse me. She said, I love your hair. And from there, we just kind of started talking. I gave her my card. She gave me hers. Her name is Rebecca. She may be watching tonight. Okay. Hey, Rebecca, if you're on. And I thought, you know what? That's what you have to do, is show yourself friendly. That's how you make friends.
And the bar is a great place to meet people.
It is.
And you're meeting people when they got a little edge, you know, when they're a little tipsy. So you're getting people in a different state. And I'm not judging it, but I'm just saying people are more loose.
And you know what? I don't know if I won't say whether they're tipsy or not, but what I will say is
experience. I'm talking from experience.
I know, but I don't. Let me just leave that right there. But what I do know
that's what Jalen says. You meet great people at the bar. Absolutely.
I do know that what it is, usually you're seeing people at the bar and they're just one. And so they're open, you know, they're alone, you're alone, and the television is going, and the game is on, or whatever is going on, and it makes for good conversation. Yeah. And you find, I've noticed when we go to a particular restaurant, it seems like there are regulars.
There are regulars. Absolutely. There's certain Majestic downtown. There's certain people. I go to Green Beetle. There's certain people that's going to be at Green Beetle. Absolutely.
And if you don't drink, it's okay. They'll still serve you, right? And you can have a ginger ale. Ginger ale is a cool drink. For those of you who don't drink, ginger ale is a cool drink. Nobody knows what it's clear. So, you know, a ginger ale or a Sprite, and you'll feel right at home at the bar. All right? So don't get into that place of condemnation.
William Weeks said tipsy and loose ain't a good match. You're right, especially for the lonely. So
yeah, I think it's really important. But he said his children said, Dad, get a life.
Get a life.
Has anybody told you need to get a life? I want to know. Y'all tell me in the feed. Has anybody told you? And y'all give me some loves and some likes and whatever, stars and all that good stuff. Has anyone told you need to get a life?
And they meant get a life.
And would you be offended if someone told you to get a life?
And they meant life outside of his work life.
Right.
Is what they meant.
Or life outside of your children,
Mm-hmm.
or life outside of church, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Has anyone ever told you, or would you be offended if someone told you?
Lisa Claiborne said her son tells her that all the time.
Well, you have more than a life. You have more than a life. I think you need to give some life
Give
back.
some life to somebody. Come on, somebody. Who missing some life? Come over here. I'll give you a part of mine.
And somebody said, Q said she
told herself.
And somebody said you can go and just order some dessert.
Dessert.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Dessert and some coffee. I love that.
Yep.
I think there are so many creative ways to get a life that we can do. You know, you may not like going to the movies by yourself, but if you do, go to a movie, right? And you know, learn something new. Take up a new hobby because you never know who you're going to meet around that hobby.
So it sounds like these lonely chit-chatters. I'm not calling everybody lonely. I'm just saying it sounds like the lonely chit-chatters need to do a night out downtown.
Okay.
It sounds like y'all need to do a night out downtown and just go and enjoy it. Just meet up. And that's really the way to do it. Some of the people in this here, let's be practical here. Some of the people right here in this chat section, several of you said, my son said, get a life. Y'all got something in common. You got sons.
Right.
You got family, and they're saying, get a life. Even if y'all come together and talk about the challenges of getting a life or how does it feel. This is great. So what y'all got in common here?
You know what? And that's what I loved about Cynthia Daniels. You remember her interview?
Yes, that's who I was trying
Remember her interview? She came here from Atlanta, didn't know anybody, but just had one friend. But I love the fact that she had the idea of, I'm going to create what I cannot find. And so maybe we'll do a chit-chatters, you know.
Night out.
Or not even a day out as when we get to the spring and summer. Because I want us even, sometimes it's a lot of pressure too. For people, you know, to go downtown and all that, but why we couldn't meet at a park? You know, and
I think we gotta go see some people.
Huh?
Don't we gotta go see people?
No, I'm talking about all of us meet at a park.
Oh, here's what I want us to do.
Okay.
I want us to tell the people, y'all go out yourselves from 6:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
And go to a bar. Everybody go to any bar you want to go to downtown.
Okay.
And then we'll meet them at 7:30 at a particular location so we can talk about, okay, I did it.
Okay.
So it could be
now,
like
do
a
we
support
have to
group.
send them to the bar? When you say everybody go to a bar,
we just talked about it.
no, but when you say no, I'm just saying a bar in a restaurant.
That's what I'm saying.
But when you just say everybody go to a bar, I don't want them to just think we're just trying to send them to a bar.
Go somewhere. And
Go somewhere.
Y'all get what I'm
Challenge
saying?
yourself to do something different or new. Different or new by yourself. And when you get there, challenge yourself to talk to somebody there. It may even be the waiter. You know, when we went last 2 weeks ago on our staff retreat,
yes,
and we met the waiter. What was his name? Steven. What was his name? Kevin. Wasn't he nice?
he was very nice. Very nice. He served well.
Yeah.
So what Cynthia did is she also volunteered. She was a transplant.
Okay.
And she went places and volunteered.
And she began to
that's
volunteer. That's how she, Cynthia Daniels. Y'all need to go back and watch that interview.
Hey, Kalisha Sands.
William Week said Overton Square is a nice place to hang out. I think we've got to do some of that. You know, just to make a life for yourself.
Nana said she has gone and she sat and ate at the bar. It was great. The alcohol won't bother you if you don't bother it.
I love it. That's right. It won't bother you if you don't bother it. And if you bother it, that's your decision to make.
Now,
that's
baby
not
sister
ours.
said, who going downtown to be on Channel 13 News? Now, baby sister,
Hey, Kalisha,
we are
I'm
from
you
the
this
hood.
week.
We are from the hood. We ain't scared of downtown. Come on
But
now.
I want us now. You know, downtown. That's a real millennial thing.
It's not.
I want.
It's old folk down there.
I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying that's not my first place that I would go.
Okay.
So I don't want them to feel like there are no other places to enjoy themselves. We may go out on Germantown, on what's that, where you
Shelby
walk around
Farms.
Shelby Farms. I want us to spread, because that's another thing that is a challenge when you're a transplant. You don't know all the different areas, right? And so there are a lot of places like you're saying, what?
Yeah.
So I want us to even spread our wings in whatever city you're in. You may not be in Memphis, but try a museum, try you know, I know those that are on here from Dallas, there's some fabulous places to go to in Dallas, but maybe not a restaurant, because I want to do this.
Okay.
I want to challenge myself to socialize around something other than eating.
That don't even sound fun.
But think about everything we do is around food, and I want some other socialization, whether
like
it's
jogging.
Don't sound so
like
enthusiastic.
riding bikes.
Don't sound so enthusiastic.
Oh,
Well, what about going bowling? What about going
You gonna eat there?
and bowling?
And bowling, yeah.
But at least we're moving our
We're moving.
bodies.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And doing something.
Are y'all down for a bowling night? Are y'all down for a
for
bowling
the
night?
chit chatters? And whatever city you're in, you make it a night for chit chatters in your city. I think we're on to something.
Yeah.
All right. So
It looks like we need to go. At least looks like we need to go out to Moon Dance. That's what it looks like. The people want to go to Moon Dance.
okay, but we got to go when it's not really crowded. And is there a moon dance in other cities? Is it a chain?
No. It's within a bit. It may be. It'll owns
Moon Dance.
and I know they're here. Their owners actually passed away due to COVID, but they own.
And would you be willing to travel by yourself? You've traveled by yourself?
I have to.
Shauna's traveled
It's
by
amazing.
herself.
It's amazing. I think whatever trip. I'm thinking about taking a trip like at the beginning of January. I think it's gonna be a solo trip.
You know, the only time Bishop will let me travel is when I'm got to go preach or something. But I don't think I've ever taken a trip. I'm looking at him as he's passing by. I don't think I've ever just taken a trip, but I would. I mean, it wouldn't be anything for me. I could go, yeah.
Where did she go?
Where I go? But that was with a group. I'm talking about where I just went by myself, not to meet anybody there. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But yeah, so let's challenge ourselves to get a life. What do the lonely do at Christmas? They get a
beautiful.
life.
It is beautiful.
We get a life. Right? And so, listen, so I know we're getting close to ending our episode, but we want to remind you that we are having a live show January 15th, 2022. And we're going to have an amazing time.
Yes.
And we want you to go ahead and get your tickets. I think we got a few more VIP tickets, 5 tickets left for VIP. And the rest are general admission, but we're going to have fun.
Both great experiences. The general admission. In this planning process, we ended up having to refigure the VIP experience because the team wanted to make sure that the general admission had a great experience. So this changed even in the middle of planning so that we could ensure that everybody has an amazing experience.
So we got Terrell Munger, who's going to talk to us about relationships. We've got Charles Winton is going to talk to us about mental health. And of course, Michelle Craig, my girl, is going to be talking to us about money. And we got some other fascinating things that are happening. And we want you to make sure you get your tickets. New page, next chapter.
That's right.
We're not talking about a new book. We're talking about a new page, next chapter.
And so come and get an exclusive. You're going to have products.
Are these not just cute, the bomb? All right, then you get your cup, and that way when you're chit-chatting with us, you got your cup going on. So we want you to do that. Tonight is our last episode on a Sunday evening, right?
It is.
Because we got to take a break.
For the new, we're getting ready.
We're getting geared up.
This new season?
We're getting geared up for the new season. We got some hot topics. We got some hot topics. But we will be popping in.
Yeah.
We got a couple of mini episodes. Yeah. That we're going to show. Got some cooking shows.
Yeah, we got some great meals.
So just pay attention to your notifications. We're going to be coming in the next 2 weeks. I never stop working. They're really taking the break. I don't stop working. But some mini shows. I mean, it's really not a break if I still got to do mini shows. But I'm just saying. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. Y'all ought to see Sean over here. But it's been a joy to share with you in 2021. I am so thankful. First, I'm thankful to God to be alive. This time last year, things were very different for me. So I am back. I found me a new life, right? And It's been fun. It's been good sharing with you. And I want you to just get ready for next year. You've been so great, Cortney. I mean, this is just, you're just a natural fit. Just a natural fit.
It feels right. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed seeing you in your 50s.
Yeah.
You said you were going to create a new you. You were embracing your 50s.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've enjoyed seeing you adjust even after the surgery.
The challenges.
But your determination to live.
Absolutely.
I think when we talk about choosing to live,
yeah,
you've chosen to live, and you've said what quality of life you're gonna have.
That's it.
And I think it's been a joy to see the example.
Yeah.
Because what I know is one day I'll be 50. And one day I'll have some challenges that I didn't know.
And here's the thing. Those challenges don't always come at 50.
That's
Sometimes
right.
they come before 50. You never know where challenges are in life. And you've got to make a determination that you're going to live through it. And so that's what I've done. And I just enjoy this community of people that we have gathered and who are faithful viewers and who are supporting us and pushing it. They share it, that it's coming on, that conversations is coming on. And so I think all our sponsors, you've been great. It's been just wonderful. And I just believe that we're on to something great.
Right. That's right.
I believe we're on to something great. And y'all, wherever we go, you go with us.
Right.
And who knows, we'll start meeting up in other cities.
Yeah, I think in 2022, we got to do some live shows somewhere.
In some other cities.
Dallas is right.
And LA too.
Dallas and LA, all right.
And we know those two are on our calendar.
That's right.
All right, you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Oh, Merry Christmas, even though you'll see me in a couple of mini shows. But y'all, just enjoy yourself and get a life.
Get a life. Get a life.
All right.